For many years, Robert Redford has captivated audiences with his charm, talent, and unforgettable roles. Behind the bright lights of Hollywood, however, lies a deeply personal story of love and heartbreak that he rarely spoke about. Now, at 88, the legendary actor has opened up about the greatest love of his life, a woman who left an indelible mark on his heart. Who was she, and why did he keep this secret for so long? Before becoming a Hollywood icon, Robert Redford was just a regular boy growing up in Santa Monica, California. His father worked as an accountant and his mother took care of the home. The family lived modestly, and Robert's childhood was filled with a love for sports, art, and the outdoors. However, school was never his strong suit. He found it difficult to focus in class but excelled on the tennis court and with a paintbrush in hand. At one point, he even had the chance to warm up with tennis legend Poncho Gonzalez at the Los Angeles Tennis Club. After enrolling at the University of Colorado, things took a rough turn. He began drinking heavily, lost his scholarship, and was eventually expelled. Instead of giving up, Robert took a different path. He traveled through Europe, immersing himself in the cultures of France, Spain, and Italy. He sketched, painted, and explored, all while figuring out who he truly wanted to be. It was during this time that his interest in acting began to grow. Upon returning to the United States, he studied painting at Pratt Institute before joining the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. His rise to stardom was not instant, but he remained determined, taking small roles in theater and television before finally breaking into Hollywood. One of the most important relationships in Redford's life began in the late 1950s when he met Lola Van Wagenen. She was calm, grounded, and deeply committed to her Mormon faith, very different from Redford's California upbringing. Despite their differences, the connection between them was undeniable. They eloped in 1958, much to the dismay of her parents. Their love story seemed like something out of a novel, full of passion and youthful determination. In the early days of their marriage, life was far from glamorous, money was tight, and Redford was still struggling to make a name for himself. The couple lived in small apartments, surviving on whatever work he could find. Then tragedy struck. Their first child, Scott, passed away from sudden infant death syndrome. The devastating loss could have torn them apart, but instead, it brought them closer. Redford has spoken about how Lola's strength during this time was a guiding force for him. She was the love of his life, the person who stood by him through heartbreak and uncertainty. As Redford's career took off, life became even more complicated. His breakout role came in 1963 when he starred in the Broadway production of Barefoot in the Park. From there, his television and film career skyrocketed. By the late 1960s, he was a full-blown movie star with roles in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Way We Were, making him a household name. However, fame came with challenges. Redford was constantly on the road filming, while Lola was home raising their children, Shauna, David, and Amy. The distance and demands of his career placed immense strain on their marriage. He later admitted that he wished he had prioritized his family more. Despite their struggles, Redford and Lola shared many beautiful moments. She supported his dream of creating the Sundance Film Festival, which became a game changer for independent filmmakers. Without her encouragement, it's possible Sundance would never have existed. But by the mid-1980s, their marriage had reached its breaking point. After 27 years together, they divorced in 1985. Though their marriage ended, their bond remained strong. Even years later, Redford described Lola as the love of his life. After his divorce, Redford entered a new chapter of relationships. In 1987, he had a whirlwind romance with Brazilian actress Sonia Braga. Their connection was electric, filled with passion and excitement, but it lasted less than a year. A few years later, while filming Havana in 1990, he fell for Swedish actress Lena Olin. Their chemistry was undeniable both on and off screen, but their romance also ended within a year. In the late 1990s, Redford began dating costume designer Cathy O'Rear. Unlike his previous relationships, this one was more private and away from the Hollywood spotlight. Redford's life took a meaningful turn when he met Sibylle, an artist and environmental activist. Their relationship wasn't about Hollywood glitz, it was about shared values and a love for nature. Sibylle had never seen Redford's movies before meeting him, which he found refreshing. Over time, their bond deepened, and in 2009, they married in Hamburg, Germany. Together, they have worked on environmental projects, co-founding The Way of the Rain, a non-profit promoting environmental awareness through art and storytelling. Redford's personal life has been shaped not only by his loves but also by his children and grandchildren. He and Lola had 4 children, but heartbreak struck again when their son James passed away in 2020 from liver cancer. James was an accomplished filmmaker and activist just like his father. The loss was profound, but Redford remains deeply proud of his son's legacy. His daughters Shauna and Amy have also followed creative paths, with Shauna becoming an artist and Amy working in film. Even as he built a legendary career, Redford never stopped evolving. In the 2010s, he took on some of his most powerful roles, including All Is Lost and Captain America: The Winter Soldier. In 2018, he announced his retirement after The Old Man and the Gun, a fitting farewell to his career. However, he later admitted that he regretted the announcement, and he made a brief return in Avengers Endgame in 2019. Today, Redford focuses on family, art, and activism. He once said that life is about learning and growing no matter the age. Looking at everything he has accomplished, his legendary films, his love stories, his dedication to storytelling, it's clear that Robert Redford is more than just an actor. He is a man who has lived passionately, loved deeply, and left a lasting impact on the world. His story is one of triumph, loss, and resilience, proving that even the most glamorous lives are filled with challenges. And through it all, he has never stopped believing in the power of love, art, and the human spirit.